Dear students, I wish you all a very pleasant evening. I extend a very warm welcome to you for yet another session on English. Today we are going to start with the second unit. Like the previous unit, the second unit also encompasses within itself a prose, a poetry, and a supplementary reader. And today we are going to begin with the prose part of the second unit. It is titled A Nice Cup of Tea by George Orwell. The moment you get in touch with this title, you might wonder, where does this title come from? Tea is a part of day-to-day life. Every morning, every evening. Every morning we start the day with a cup of strong tea. Every evening we have a cup of tea. And during the course of the day also, some of you take tea. So it's a part of day-to-day life. How is it that it finds its place in literature in the form of English prose? It's a very valid question, my dear students. You should remember this. Literature is something to do with life. The nitty-gritty, the basic realities and the context, the basic aspects of day-to-day life, it encompasses within itself. Therefore, it's no surprise that a nice cup of tea which deals with preparation and consumption of tea finds its place in English literature in the form of a prose with a clean title, Nice Cup of Tea, written by famous author George Orwell. At the outset, it's good that we get in touch with the different types of tea. You can see it on your screen. You can see it on your screen. There are different types of tea. Herbal tea, iced tea, lemon tea, green tea, black tea, tea with milk, and so on. Normally, people subscribe to tea with milk. It's a commonly consumed tea. Whereas, there are people who are conscious of their health. They go for either herbal tea or green tea. Both are found to be rich in antioxidants. Some people, elderly people, subscribe to black tea. Youngsters like you all prefer tea with ice, iced tea, or even a lemon tea, some of you like. These are the different types of tea that you consume in your day-to-day life. Now, where does this tea come from? There is a pictorial presentation. Again, you can see it on your screen. Tea plants normally doesn't grow in ordinary plain areas. Tea plantations are groomed only in mountainous regions, wherein the climatic conditions are cool and pleasant. Normally, the tea leaves in a tea plantation area will be plucked by the plantation workers, and these tea leaves will be dried in bright sunlight. They'll be taken to a unit wherein, in a broad daylight, all these leaves will be dried. And then in a factory, these dried leaves will be processed and powdered. And the powder form of tea will be packed in neat packets, and they will be marketed to different parts of the world. And you can find the tea packets available in your local store from where you buy, and you will start using it at home. Now, our author is concerned about the preparation of tea at home. See, normally, the tea preparation varies. At home, you prepare it in a way, and in big hotels and in street side tea stalls, the way by which tea is prepared varies from place to place. But if you want to have a good preparation of tea, tasty tea, then the author proposes a few methods. A few stages are involved in the method which he proposes, and we are going to see that in a systematic way. And in the notes which are presented in front of you, you can see it on your screen, the summary is given. First, we will go through the summary, and then we will go ahead with the golden rules for the preparation of good tea. The first impressions from reading George Orwell's essay, A Nice Cup of Tea, include Orwell explaining the proper ways of handling the essences of drinking tea. The summary goes like that. You can browse through the same on your screen. The speaker guides the reader through instructions on how to prepare and drink tea, and then talks about the many faults people are currently making when drinking their tea. The title of the essay directly refers to the essay's content as well as the idiom, which means that something suits someone nicely, such as the elegant way Orwell describes tea in general. The central meaning within this essay relates to the method of making the perfect cup of tea. It is very neatly given. George Orwell is oriented towards making that perfect cup of tea. That's what he is concerned about. He is of the opinion that many cookery books leave some important points about preparing tea. Preparing tea is important because tea has come to stay in our culture. You should remember, students, tea has become a part of our culture. Whenever visitors visit your place, whenever some guests drop in your home, you welcome them with a cup of tea. So it has become a part of our culture. According to him, there are 11 points to follow to prepare a nice cup of tea. First of all, one should select Indian or Ceylonese tea. China tea does not have the stimulation, and one does not feel good after drinking China tea. Even in the realm of tea, China has its say. China market, but tea from China markets are also available in our Indian markets. As usual, Chinese goods are not that very good. Normally, we have the impression about them. And even in the realm of tea, China tea is not good. Either you subscribe to Indian tea, which comes from different parts of India, or else tea from Ceylon, our neighboring country Sri Lanka. Well, both of them will be good for consumption. And I go on. You can go to the next page. You can see it on the screen. Secondly, tea should be made in teapot in small quantities. Tea should not be made in a big vessel. The teapot should be made of china or earthenware. Preferably earthenware. When you prepare tea can never be prepared in large quantities. It should be prepared in small quantity at home for 4 people or 5 people at the most. And it should be prepared not in metal vessels made of metals. Instead, it is good that we make use of earthenware. The author means to say vessels made of clay or mud. Thirdly, the pot, you can get back to the screen once again. Thirdly, the pot should be warmed beforehand, keeping it on the hob. Fourthly, to make strong tea, we should take 6 heaped teaspoons of tea. Fifthly, the tea should be put straight into the pot without using strainers or muslin bags. What do we mean by strainers or muslin bags? Tea bags you would have seen. Yeah. The author is referring to that. Sometimes, we subscribe to tea bags, we put them in hot milk and stir. It is not at all, it can never be considered as tea. And we are not allowed to use strainers. Strainer is again a vessel which filters tea leaves from the decoction. Even that should not be used, the author says. Sixthly, the tea pot should be taken to the kettle and not the other way around. The water should be actually boiling at the time when tea is dropped inside. When you pour the decoction, the water should be already boiling. Seventhly, after making the tea, one should stir it and give the pot a good shake. Afterwards, tea leaves can be allowed to settle down. Till that time, till the entire process of decoction preparation gets over, the tea leaves should be there and they should be allowed to settle at the bottom of the vessel. Eighthly, one should use a breakfast cup to drink tea. The author is particular about even the consumption of tea. When you drink tea, you cannot drink it in paper cups or other metal cups. it should be you should make use of a breakfast cup to drink tea. The cylindrical type of cup will keep heat longer. Ninthly, cream should be removed from the milk before using it for tea. Ideally speaking, you should use a milk